Like and subscribe now, or you're gonna have bad luck this week.
If you are a sports geek, you must have witnessed some fantastic moments in the sports world and enjoyed the beauty of sports. But it's not always the great moments caught on the camera. Sometimes it's embarrassing and hilarious moments that are also captured. From celebrating too early to take down the fastest man alive, here are some of the funniest and most amazing sports fails ever. Let's dive in. Mid-fight dancing. MMA fighter Joe Harding is known for many things, but his bizarre decision to start showboating in the middle of an ill-timed moment is at the top of this list. Harding made his judgment call during a fight against Johan Segas in 2016. The pair were competing against each other in the British Challenge MMA 18. Joe Harding managed to get the upper hand in the fight, and then he just instantly began showboating out of nowhere. Unfortunately, this meant that Segas easily landed him with a kick to the face, and then a few punches, knocking Harding out cold. We're pretty sure Joe Harding must have some nightmares about that night. It's a good lesson why you should be focused during a sporting contest at all times. And you can practice your dancing skills in your home. Hurdle gone wild. As far as disastrous track and field performances are concerned, this hurdle act in 2012 at the Chinese University Games pulls off 110 meters of embarrassment in a very impressive fashion. And we can hardly find a match of this hilarious feat. How this guy even found himself in this race is another discussion entirely. He clearly did not make the team that competed in London that summer. This dude went on in a Hulk mode, straight up smashing through those first few hurdles, as if they were toothpicks. The more hurdles he faced, the more he did not scale them. In his undying spirit of sportsmanship, this lost cause also did a bang-up job of ensuring that his teammates' race was ruined too. Dunked by a kid. Warning, LeBron James and Nike do not want you to watch this video. Why is that, you must be thinking? As the global brand had brought King James under their wing to form a formidable partnership, the Cavs star took some time out to play against a collection of college sophomore kids. One of them, Jordan Crawford, schooled James with a huge dunk over the top. Under normal circumstances, this would be laughed off, but both Nike and James went out of their way to try and confiscate the tape and wipe it from the history books. The first bit was embarrassing, but the next one was just outright humiliating. Celebrating before scoring. If you are a basketball fan, you must remember the basketball star Kemba Walker, who managed to make a complete fool of himself on live TV. Walker played for the Charlotte Hornets, and during his first season as an All-Star, Walker really decided to pull out all the tricks. During a December game against the Miami Heat, Walker launched a three and then turned around to do a little victory dance for the home crowd. But the shot wasn't as good as Walker thought it was. Instead, the moment turned into an epic failure when it turned out that he had already celebrated before making sure that the ball actually went in the net. Luckily, he managed to see the funny side of it and laughed it off with his fans. Worst finish line fail ever. This one is hard to watch, but we can't stop watching it either. It's one of those moments where lack of awareness can cost you first place and gold medal. We can see that the 400-meter runners are just coming around the corner, which is the signal for the finish line. The attendants quickly get into their positions, except things go horribly wrong when one of the girls accidentally drops her end of the finish line. The player collides with the girl, and the whole race is ruined. Sadly, Tyler McLaughlin was disqualified for a line infraction thanks to the incident, despite the fact that the runner was clearly in first place. Falling fan. This is an example of too much obsession over players gone wrong. In 1983, the All-Pro player Reggie White recovered from an injury after a while, and in his first game, he went to the stands to shake hands with fans and convey his gratitude for their support. One of the fans was just too excited that while trying to reach Reggie, she leaned in way too far and fell from the stands, face down on the ground. Reggie, in confusion, didn't know what to do and then went along with his thing. The poor fan couldn't get any attention from behind him. Time to shave. Brendan Shanahan is in the Hockey Hall of Fame and won 3 Stanley Cups during his time with the Detroit Red Wings. Beyond his impressive talents as left wing in ice hockey, Brendan also has razor-sharp humor. During the '02 Stanley Cup playoffs versus the Carolina Hurricanes, Shanahan was spending some time in the penalty box. A female heckler was giving him an earful and apparently an eyeful as well. Wearing a sleeveless shirt, Shani had a view of her armpits. Who knows if she actually had hairy pits, but Shani gave her the universal sign for shaving there and mouthed the words, "That's nasty." The delivery and comedic timing was perfect. That's pretty devastating for a comeback. Never slide into first base. Most people know that it is an unwritten rule of baseball and softball not to slide on the field in any case, like cricket or football. Sliding can be dangerous and actually slows the runner down. This softball player thought that this rule applies only to baseball, so she decided to go for a slide, obviously with painful consequences. For some reason, the girl is running in when she decided to begin the slide, about 20 feet away from the bag. The slide really wasn't worth it. The player had to find out the hard way. If you want to know why sliding is dangerous, then this video is the one to watch. Usain Bolt's Segway incident. Usain Bolt has been regularly breaking records as the fastest man in the world for some time now. By the time of World Championships in Beijing in 2015, Bolt already had a world-class sprinting career, and a 9-time Olympic gold medalist was all fired up and ready to break even more world records. And he did just that, adding to his collection of awards with 3 gold medals in the championship, 100 meter, 200 meter, and 4x100 meter events. But sometimes, even for the fastest runner in the world, everything doesn't go as planned. After finishing the 200 meter in just 19.55 seconds, Bolt ended up colliding with a rogue Chinese cameraman. Just as Bolt was doing his victory lap, a cameraman riding a Segway bizarrely managed to bulldoze his way into the star athlete. Fortunately, neither man was injured, and the cameraman even ended up giving Bolt a gift to say sorry. Blindfolded dunk. First of all, a blindfolded dunk isn't a good idea. Every basketball fan knows that the Philippine Basketball Association is not quite the same level of popularity as the NBA, but they are responsible for bringing the internet one of the greatest sporting fails of all time. Justin Melton was part of the 2015 PBA Slam Dunk contests, which involved blindfolding players and getting them to dunk the ball. As stupid as it sounds, it's really a popular thing in basketball. What happens next is one of the most embarrassing and funniest moments in basketball history. His ridiculous attempt to slam dunk was so bad that the whole world laughed at it. Melton might want to try and practice a few blindfolded shots next time he's planning on competing in a slam dunk contest. Bottle opener. Some of the very best moments come from the crowd during live games. Just like in the New York Mets game, the cameraman and commentators find a muscular man trying to open a water bottle in the middle of the crowd. He doesn't know that the cameraman is focusing on him and that the whole world is witnessing his funny moment. Even after a few minutes, the cameraman again focused on the guy, and to his surprise, he still was going at it, trying to open the bottle. He really needs to change his workout plan, because if you cannot open a bottle of water, you are not of much use. After a while, he gives up and hands the bottle to another fan sitting in the stands. Dancing Kid. You might have seen the video before. If you haven't, your day is about to get a lot better. One young fan expressed his excitement of attending a Marlins game in the most obvious way possible, by pulling up his shirt and dancing for a stadium fan cam. Well, that is something. This kid's explosive core strength and flexibility suggests a big league future. But his dance moves give him a good backup option as a Clevelander dancer. After the dance, the kid was probably as famous as the president of the US at that time. Miami Marlins actually brought the kid again as a mascot for the day. What a story, isn't it? Birdman. Some people really are enthusiastic about being recorded on the camera and coming on TV, just like this guy present in the golf club while a golf champion was getting interviewed. The crazy fan in the funny costume indeed craved the spotlight, and maybe that is why he interrupted the interview by making strange bird noises. Both the interviewer and the golf player got surprised by this weird behavior, and the poor guy got dragged out of the scene by a security guard. Poor guy just got himself out of there for only giving a background sound effect. Do you like being on camera? And would you ever do anything similar? Just to be in the spotlight if you got a chance? Federer schooled. Although it was Roger Federer and Grigor Dimitrov whom fans came to see at the BNP Paribus showdown in 2015, it was a young boy who ended up being the star of the night. During an exhibition at the Madison Square Garden, Dimitrov stepped aside and let a youngster face Federer for a chance to show what he could do. Federer gave a surprisingly hearty serve before the two exchanged playful rallies, which ended with a beautiful lob by the kid. As good as Federer is, he had no defense for that shot. Dimitrov and the crowd loved it, and they celebrated the point with a high five. Gabriela Sabo's collision. A true sports fan knows Gabriela Sabo for her amazing records on the running track. Sabos was a Romanian long-distance runner whom won the Olympic medals in the 1996 and 2000 Summer Games. However, she is also known for the worst sporting fail and collision in sporting history when she collided with a long jumper. It was all caught live on camera. After a race, Sabo was trying to cheer up the stadium and walked across the long jump track without realizing that an athlete was charging towards her in the middle of her row. The long jumper only realized he's about to take down Sabo right at the very last second, so he just gives up. Maybe next time, check that nobody is practicing on the track. Also, check out this guy in the orange hoodie. His reaction is priceless. Which one of these sports fails did you find the funniest? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.